Alright, so Stefano, this is for you. This is back onto some basic and some fundamental pieces to help you out, right? Saber is different from longsword is different from saber to extents, right? Saber is a little bit more simplistic, as you like to state. It's a highly complex game, in reality. So is longsword. It's just you have different chess pieces to move. But one big significant difference is that when you're doing saber, you have that front foot forward, whereas in longsword, it goes back and you actually have to increase your range. So we're going to worry about structure, foundational movements first. And then we'll talk about some things with the grip and the longsword. Okay? So, first piece, I always like to do my cheat sheet. You roll your shoulders back, let them settle in. You're not forcing them back, you're not letting them roll forward. You just want to let them settle in, nice and back, and maintain your structure. Right? From there, we're going to make sure our feet are shoulder width apart. And by shoulder width apart, I am not talking about you're not that big, broad, and shouldered. Come in, arms to the side, let them meet your arms. That's it. Right? Pop down into a half squat, where you're in that nice little half squat position. Again, making sure your shoulders are back is upright. All right? From here, we're going to take our back foot and we're going to bring it back to where our hips makes that 45 degree. You'll probably be looking something like this structurally wise. Keep your hips turned and try to keep your structure and your chest facing this way. This should cause a slight tension or a slight coiling-like feeling here in this hip. We're just spring-loading you for actions, right? To check yourself, balance-wise, a lot of people tell you want to have a 50-50. Reality, I don't find that's 100% achievable in this position. This position, a little bit more. But here is the differential, right? So it's more or less a 60-40. You either 60 here or 60 here with a slight shift back and forth. In that thought process, okay, because I'm here and I'm coiled up, if I turn completely to my right, on the balls of my feet and face the other way to where my left foot's now the back foot and all that, I should equal out to where I'm in the exact same structural position and same thing. Turn back this way, nothing's changed. If, and I'll move this foot off, if I'm off weight or anything like that, I go to turn, I'm going to be off balance and feel like crap and fall. So this is how you can check yourself. Am I structured? Should be easy peasy, right? And if you want to double check yourself some more, turn where you're facing with both feet facing out, and you should be like you're in a grappling position, or like getting ready to wrestle, or do a squat. Right? So these are some fundamentals of structure and core pieces to work with. Next, let's look at the sword for a second. Gripping. A lot of people love to hammer. Hammers do not help you. Right? You can start here, but you have to change. Because if I'm hammer gripping and I cut, this is maximum extension, and my sword is nowhere near you. I have to go all the way to here outside of a structural point. So instead, we're going to worry about the handshake grip, right? As I like to call it. You can be in the handshake, you can be hammer, take your pinky and ring fingers, snap them forward to where you get to there. So if I am in hammer, boom, 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 right? You can go through a variety of fundamental pieces on that. There are also a lot better instructors at this than cutting and a variety of other things. Tristan up in New York, Mike Edelson, Martin. So many people through the cutting scene that can actually probably teach you and go through this more. You can also go check out Mike Edelson's book. You can get it on Kindle, dirt cheap, I think, maybe free. I don't know. It's Mike. You never know with Mike. That has really good a bunch of information on cutting mechanics. That is helpful. It's not the end-all be-all, but it's very helpful. So, from there, we now have to establish we want this grip. Okay? I'm now going to go onto the shoulder into Vom Tag from the RDL or ring neck, Danzig glue, all that process through. So on the shoulder, it's not necessarily about being down here onto the shoulder for your positioning. You can make this work really well. Problem is you're going to generally get an overbind on you half the time. It is really nice and fast, and you can snipe with it great, but it's not always the best action. being up just slightly above the shoulder gives you a better arc positioning and able to go through. From here, the goal frame is to actually extend the arms out, snap. As you're snapping through, extend and turn. Right? Again, better cutting mechanics on this process. Left hand is your power, right hand is your steering. Right? So I'm here, it's a, and then that process. Fuck. Talking too much today. Anyway, to go on some more of the fundamental bases, we're going to now focus back onto that coiling sensation you felt here and establishing when do you step into your cut. So being in here, I'm making sure I'm face forward, the hips turn, I have it. As I'm extending and firing off my cut, you can go through the action without stepping. You're going to naturally want to turn on the ball of your foot to release the tension here. The second you feel that is when you should make your step. And you're not wanting to step straight forward. You actually want to make sure you step out into an oblique angle off to your right. Right? So I can, boom. And now I've established a center line and a better cut. Those are some key fundamental things to start with. Practice that out. Let me know what you need.